Every time, okay, from now on, every time I hear an ice cream truck, I'm going to eat ice cream during bracket. Like, I feel like
I can't. I'm lactose intolerant.
me too, man, but that don't stop me.
Oh no, Daniel.
I
I
know
pay
like
for it
20
later.
people who all say they're lactose intolerant, and every single one of them eats more ice cream than I do. Like every
Yes.
single
Yes.
lactose intolerant person I know is just constantly drinking milk and eating ice cream.
Yes.
And boy, how we do
Correct.
pay interest on that loan, my man.
Yeah,
we
you are.
do. we pay severely. It's like a 30% APR. Welcome to Bracket, the only show where we take a bunch of shit and face it off against another bunch of shit to see what the best shit really is. I'm your temporary host, Dan McKenney, and set sail for fun. It's John Ryan Abbott.
Avast, you mateys. Dan threw me off. I wasn't ready for the pirate theming. Hello, I'm John. Nice to see you.
Do you want to send him first class or priority? It's Jesse Knowles.
Jesus Christ, Dan! You had a missed opportunity. You could have started this episode with we take a bunch of ship and face it off against another bunch of ship to see what the best ship really is.
Pretty good.
And Emmy-nominated creator of The Bachelorette, Greg L. Mercer.
Hi, I'm Greg L. Mercer, and my OTP is Bracket X Fun. You guys never laugh at my thing. I hate this.
And this week we are welcoming to the show one half of the new podcast Going Down with the Ship. Please welcome Eden Porter.
I'm drowning.
Oh no.
In fun.
Oh, yay. It's a great
Also
thing
water.
to drown in.
A little bit of a roller coaster there. This week we are doing Best Ship. In round one, Group A, it's Sonic the Hedgehog and my original character versus Kirk and Spock. In Group B, it's Finn and Poe versus Spaceship. In Group C, it's Titanic versus Harry and Hermione. In Group D, it's Battleship versus UPS. In Group E, it's Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen versus the Mayflower. In Group F, it is Korasami versus Steve and Stucky. In Group G, it's the Black Pearl versus Scholarship. And in Group H, it's the Fellowship of the Ring versus the anime entry of the week, Naruto Shippuden. So, round one, Group A, Sonic and my original character versus Kirk and Spock. Greg's in the hot seat.
I'm in the hot seat.
I want to say, might be getting ahead of ourselves, but this could be the best episode we've ever come up with.
So we have actual ships and also various ships and also relationships.
We'll get to it. This first round is Sonic / original character versus Kirk / Spock. Kirk
The
Spock
two
is what started.
oldest ships.
That's kind of
Tale as
true.
old as time.
Kirk Spock is sort of the first that's where shipping was invented in the sense of shipping as a term for, hey, these two characters are in love.
They're Star Trek. Right?
Yes, they are from the original Star Trek series, which I don't think is as good as Next Generation. There, I said it.
Okay, well, when was the original on TV?
The original was on TV, debuted in 1966.
Oh, wow. Okay.
1866.
1866.
Nice.
It was very forward-thinking and progressive. They thought that this is what the world would be like by the year 1900. So
Okay, it wasn't that funny a joke.
it was kind of funny.
You were the person who laughed the most.
All the ships were made out of paper mache and like Adobe bricks.
Right, exactly. They didn't know what warp drives were. They just
Is that
said,
is that part of Creative Cloud or?
Oh my
Oh
god.
my
Yeah.
God.
I don't know. I don't pay for any of it.
We gotta get Colin back.
Let me tell you a little bit about my good buddy Sonic the Hedgehog, and also how I want him to be real and love me. Sonic's a great guy, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Good
Is he
friend.
Christian?
Definitely,
Praise every day.
definitely Christian. Sonic in my original character is like people's first ship, right? Like when you're 13 or 12 or 9, but just keep going down, you're 4, you want to pair Sonic the Hedgehog with another Sonic the Hedgehog character.
I'm
Right,
sorry.
I mean,
I'm still obsessed with this idea of Sonic and Christianity. Like, let me tell you about another pretty cool guy. He goes pretty fast too. His name's
I'll
Jesus
tell you some-
Christ.
I'll tell somebody who had to go fast. Jesus Jesus for a week.
To escape the persecution of the Romans.
Well, it makes sense that Sonic would believe in the Judeo-Christian God because he's all about like not being. He's against robots. Sonic is anti-mechanical life. It has to come from the natural.
You think he's anti-science?
Yeah.
3 days later, they went back to check on him, and old Jesus had turned into Super Jesus. Collected all the Chaos Emeralds.
Got all the Chaos Shrouds.
Sonic is the original anti-vaxxer. Just a suggestion.
Man, I was really leaning Sonic. But now that we've uncovered all this information about him, I don't know if I can ever view him the same way.
How babies like can recognize faces and stuff. Like, okay, it sees a face, it sees arms, legs, and also they have fun personalities. Let's put these characters together and make them kiss. Like that's.
I mean, worth saying. I think Sonic and an OC probably the most drawn ship ever, right?
On this list, certainly, yeah.
If you have the ability to hold like a pencil of any kind, you can make that ship happen, like, and you will.
And because I mean, Sonic's like his general so his personality is supposed to be like kind of like attitude.
Well, he's got an attitude, and he can really move.
Yeah, but like you could make Sonic go like fulfill either kind of role in a relationship. Like he can be nice or he can be like grumpy, which is the two settings for people.
I didn't think I'd be saying this ever on bracket. But I feel like bringing these two against each other, we have to. What are we going to do about the Mpreg situation?
You're going to have to define that for me because I don't know what that means.
I do, but I want to hear how John will phrase it.
I prefer AVI for my video format.
Dan, it's when a traditionally depicted male character in fan fiction and shipping can be depicted as being pregnant by whoever they're in a relationship with.
Ooh, this is a spicy chili dog.
Regardless of their sort of internal plumbing, they can get pregnant.
I have encountered these in the wilderness.
So I like Kirk Spock. I get it. I think that it's you got this brash extroverted out there character who's shipped with this very cold, logical, introverted character. So I get it, and they were very gay on the show. In old bracket standby style, who would you rather kiss? I'd rather kiss Sonic. Look at him.
The thing I feel like who would you rather kiss is not a good metric for this episode. Because
why not?
Because the answer is I just want to see them kiss each other, right?
I would feel weird kissing William Shatner because I've been told I look like William Shatner.
You got a little.
You wouldn't want to kiss yourself? You wouldn't be into a clone of you, Jesse?
No,
I would.
What?
No, I want to kiss myself really bad, which is why I pick Sonic because I think he's the closest thing there is to a Greg Mercer.
Wait, Greg. Real quick. What is your character in the Sonic world? Are you Greg and then an animal, and what is that?
I think it's pretty obvious I'm a robot like E106 Gamma or whatever that guy was from Sonic Adventure.
Gotcha. Okay, I could see that.
I'd be good. I would want to be a friend to the animals and help. But
right. Well, there was E102 Alpha, and then there's also Omega, who was in Sonic Heroes. And then there was another E10 bot that was in the Sonic fighting game and also in Sonic Chronicles, The Dark Brotherhood, which was the BioWare.
Nobody cares. Where are votes?
Where's your vote?
I'm Sonic. I already said.
I'm also a Sonic the Hedgehog vote.
That's two.
I gotta give some respect to Kirk and Spock. People have been shipping them long before it was easy to get your hands on material that would support that, and I respect that.
That's a good point.
See, I'm leaning Kirk and Spock too, just because it's a better platonic ideal of a ship. Because Sonic / an original character, that depends entirely on who is reading those words and interpreting them. Your original character could be a rock.
Are you saying Sonic couldn't fall in love with a rock? I think that's discriminatory.
I mean, he has a pretty solid relationship with Knuckles, so.
Boom. Owned. Sonic loves Chaos Emeralds.
Great.
Chaos Emeralds are just rocks.
I've been soundly defeated.
John, I think it comes down to John, right?
Eden, are you a Kirk Spock vote?
I'm a Kirk Spock vote.
John, it's down to you.
I'm gonna keep this quick. Get those old men out of here. Bring in the blue boy.
There he is.
So it's a Kirk Spock, right?
Sonic the Hedgehog and my original character knock out Kirk and Spock 3-2. Round 1, Group B, we have Finn and Poe from Star Wars: The Force Awakens versus a spaceship.
Both
of these are spaceships.
Yeah,
True.
That's pretty good. How are we comparing these? What are we doing? I don't understand.
That's my ringtone.
Well, okay, there are a couple things about spaceship. We have to hold over Finn Poe first. First, spaceship will let you go places.
That's true.
A spaceship can transport you all around the star system.
Sure, spaceships also like half the time blow up in our stratosphere. Like
That's a good point.
Ooh, that's not a bad. I mean, I'm
Whereas
sure Finn and Poe
is eternal.
I'm sure Finn and Poe could land in some water.
Yes.
Ooh, 6 SpaceX
Sandra
firms.
Bullock style.
They have a cute jacket that they share. They're boyfriends who share each other's clothes. How cute is that?
A
I think these
spaceship.
two have interacted. Finn and Poe interact maybe 2-3 minutes tops in that whole movie,
All you need, baby.
and people are nuts for them.
That's all you need. A spaceship can have a gateway to hell in it.
That's a good point. Good point. You can get a gateway to hell going.
It is not a ship unless there's a gateway to hell, in my opinion.
A spaceship could also have a dog in it.
That's a really good point. It could have a cat like on Alien.
Just because you can't store things in a relationship doesn't mean like that's
I store
inherently
my emotional
inferior.
baggage in a relationship. Boom.
Good point. I'd rather hang out with a cat than emotional baggage.
Dan, I do think you have to consider the image of Oscar Isaac and John Boyega holding a small dog together
Oh,
in casual
Eden's
wear
right.
out on the streets.
I think
The
I'm
dog's tag is Leica.
Okay.
And it's a skeleton.
Okay, so let's. I hate to do this because I want to vote Finn Poe, but I think the way to vote here is which would you rather have, a spaceship or would you rather have Finn Poe be canon? And it's close. But I think I would rather have a spaceship if we're going by that criteria.
If we are rerouting all federal funding right now, like
Yeah.
either we can
Yes,
make
all
spaceships.
American tax dollars are going to making
spaceship-
one of these two things happen.
A spaceship, if you use a spaceship, you are literally risking your own death unless you know what you're doing, and even then, it's not 100%. Finn and Poe won't kill you unless you're that emotional over it.
I might be.
But they will slam me.
Ugh.
God, I really don't know. I hate that I have to vote first. I guess I gotta go Finn Poe.
No, Greg, hang on. Oh, did you
Too
vote
late,
Finn
I'm
Poe?
locked in, yeah.
Okay. I mean, like, think of it this way, guys. Which Finn and Poe is going to make so many dumb nerds mad. A spaceship won't do that.
That's true.
Spaceships have been making nerds mad for ages because it's like,
But
oh,
not
the way Finn
how did
Poe
it
would.
travel this fast? That doesn't
Not
make
the
any
way
sense.
Finn Poe would.
Xenon, the girl from the 21st century, lived on a spaceship as well.
Dan, you dumb idiot. It's girl of the 22nd century.
Oh, sorry. I was a little bit more of a fan of Z2, the sequel.
Right? Still girl of the
Jesus.
22nd century in that one.
Sorry, but the subtitle wasn't Z2 the sequel still girl from the 22nd century.
I'm just saying.
No, I think you're
get
thinking
your
of
canon
Z3, the sequel. That's also prequel, but it doesn't sound
Z3,
like
that's
it.
3
Right.
movies.
Also a sequel, but in this case, sequel meaning prequel was the full title.
Actually, I may have fucked up. It may have been Xenon 2 because Xenon 3 was definitely called Z3,
Where
which is my
votes?
favorite video game convention. I gotta go Finn and Poe myself.
That's 2 for Finn Poe.
You know, I think I'm going to lock it in here and say Finn Poe because even though if it is canon, it will be forever tainted by the suggestion of capitalism and marketing on the part of Disney. But god damn it, it's so good.
It is really good.
I want to
I-
think about those boys going to the Cold Stone Creamery.
That sounds really good.
I'm gonna vote Finn Poe as well because, like, how much of a bummer would it be if those movies tried to like pair one of them up with Rey instead?
Oh,
What a
John,
fucking
It's
piss
4-0.
I'm going to give one to a spaceship because it's fun to
All
fly
right.
around.
It is fun to fly around. You're
It's
right.
fun to
It
fly
is.
around.
Finn and Poe knock out a spaceship 4-1. Up next is the Titanic versus Harry Potter and Hermione Granger.
Now, they said that the Titanic was the world's greatest ship when it was created.
They also said it was unsinkable, John. In case of
Yep.
Yeah, I'll tell you what I thought was unsinkable. My parents' relationship.
Oh my God, Dan.
Dan, stop it with that. It just brings every episode down.
Not my OTP.
Oh my god!
Is Jesse dating your
Dan.
mom, Dan? So Harry Hermione, I like Harry Hermione. Actually, you know what? We can't go back and fix it now. But I would like to change that to be Harry Hermione Ron, because that was like my first time. I was like, can three people like each other like that? And the answer is yes, repeatedly in thousands of fan fictions that I've read.
I don't know why. I mean, I guess I get why Harry Hermione's here, but I don't know why it's not Remus and Sirius.
It's pretty good too.
I just think, I mean, Harry and Hermione, to me, it's just like, we took it just feels a little like too boring or obvious to me. It feels we took the two main characters, and since they're in the book the most, let's have them kiss. Like,
I think it fucking sucks. I think
it feels
that's
a little
terrible
like
ship.
Zuko and Katara to me, where it's
It also suggests that, what I like about the fact that, like, Harry and Hermione are friends, and there's not, I mean, I guess there's subtext there, but who fucking cares? What I like about that is the fact that, like, it suggests that, hey, boys and girls can be friends and they don't have to date each other, and that's like a cool thing. I like that.
Yeah, but that could have been suggested if she wasn't dating Ron. Ron sucks. I hate Ron.
I feel like the better shipping is Harry and Ginny, and that actually happens. Like eventually,
but I don't know if that's well written at all.
I think that's okay, but that's more satisfying to me personally than Harry and Hermione.
Sure.
There's
it's not like
going
those
to be
books are
something
good
a
at
little weird to me about dating your best friend's little sister.
Ooh.
There is yes, but the two together.
Not my ship. I'm a Harry moaning Myrtle kind of guy.
No.
All right.
You know
what? For it. Jesse, you like ghosts.
I got into Harry Potter late. Didn't really read it until mid-high school, and not much of a fan. Whereas Titanic is related to the events of the Zero Escape series, and thus I will be revealing my vote in only a few minutes after Greg votes.
Wait, is that true?
Yes, the first game, if you'd like to read up on some lore, takes place on a sister ship of the Titanic.
I have got to play these games.
It's pretty fucking rad, bro.
Oh, fuck. That's... Okay, Greg, vote.
My vote is for Harry Hermione, just because I was pulling for it in the comics, and eventually I was like, oh, poly ships are way better than ships of couples. And also, I was really bored by the movie Titanic. I don't like James Cameron that much.
As was established, I am a Titanic vote.
Oh, now we know.
Yeah, it was really bad. It was back and forth for a second.
I'm going to be, just on principle, I'm a Titanic vote because romance in Harry Potter sucks.
2-1.
Well,
it sucks. It's not good.
John, where's your vote?
You know what? I don't feel like people are going to like this, but I'm voting Titanic. Woo! Something romantic. You're out there on the ice and the waves are dying. Yeah.
Okay, not everybody died.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, everybody died.
She got to throw the thing off the...
What?
Dan, where's your vote?
I haven't seen Titanic, so...
But she got to throw the thing, totally.
She got to throw the thing.
Dan,
that's what the 2 VHS tapes are leading up to. I'm a Titanic vote.
Oh, man. Wow, y'all got that taste.
Titanic knocks out Harry and Hermione 4-1. Up next is Battleship versus UPS.
Not even a question. It's Battleship because Battleship had Rihanna. Everybody else, go ahead and talk.
Did anyone see that movie? Okay, hang on.
Oh, I saw that movie.
I didn't see that movie, but I heard that the third act had one of the most fucking bonkers things. They pulled a World War II boat or something, and
they pull out like an old boat and they play holographic the board game Battleship with aliens to destroy the aliens.
Here's the best possible thing that came out of that movie. They realized the aliens are in the water, right? And or not the aliens, but like the aliens like tracking beacons or something. And so they send out buoys and make a grid out of these buoys, and then say like, okay, send a missile to like B6, and then they like literally are playing Battleship in the movie Battleship with fucking Battleship weapons.
This sounds amazing.
That upsets me greatly.
I want to get my vote in early here. And for me, it's obvious. I'm a UPS vote because nothing feels better than getting a package delivered to your door.
Okay, but UPS does a really shit job at delivering that package.
What can Brown do for you? Not much, IMO.
But Battleship, if you play the board game, you know the person you're playing against is cheating. They're a dirty damn liar, and they're not going to tell you when you hit their ship.
I had one of those little Star Wars Battleship games. It was electronic, and you plugged in the information of where your ship was, so you couldn't lie about it.
Watch me.
I learned a lot about a lot of Star Wars ships that day. I got that.
Where are votes? It's 1-1 right now.
I really liked the UPS movie.
Yeah, I thought
it was
that
so
was
audacious, and Beyonce was great in it.
You may be thinking about one of John's favorite things, the Mad TV sketch with Phil Lamar as the UPS guy.
I'm motioning that going over my head.
I'm voting Battleship.
Someone out there is laughing really hard.
Nobody.
If Cullen was here, Cullen would be doing the whole sketch right now.
But Cullen's not. Hey, anybody ever turned down a parfait? Parfaits are delicious.
2-1. Where are votes?
Oh my God.
When I ship stuff through eBay, it's usually cheaper on FedEx, so I'm gonna vote Battleship.
Oh no,
that locks it up.
I am going to be a Battleship vote as well because I liked that board game a lot as a kid.
There it is.
No.
We missed out.
Yes, you never let me down.
All right, Battleship knocks out UPS 4-1. Up next, we have Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen versus the Mayflower.
As everybody knows, America was a mistake, and Bubblegum Marceline is the best thing that ever happened. So Bubblegum Marceline is my vote.
How close is that happening in the show?
It's almost canon. Like, it's kind of at that precipice.
It's as canon as they can get it.
It's at that precipice where it's kind of like, it's kind of weird that they haven't done this, but they have so much goodwill behind it that I am very big a fan of it. The Mayflower is a human vessel and thus is fallible in certain ways, like, wood or termites and stuff. But Bubblegum Marceline is kind of like an extraterrestrial thing, like god came down and planted this idea.
Sure, but it is susceptible to it is susceptible to ratings. I think.
Well,
a drop in viewership.
What's interesting here about Bubblegum and Marceline is that the show has kind of taken the if you want to read the way that stuff has been going in the show, which I think that is what they're basically putting it as like, oh yeah, they had something. It definitely puts emphasis on them having a past together that we haven't seen. Which I think is really cool. And it's a good way for them to address it in the show with a little bit more subtext than just being like, yeah, these two, they're smooching.
Yeah, and there aren't any scenes in other comparable ships where they would be like, oh, we're just friends, or like a storyline where Princess Bubblegum dates fucking that Billy guy.
Sure.
Who's that guy?
Yeah, Billy.
Oh yeah, all those interesting Adventure Time characters.
Wait, you mean Billy, like the big guy, right?
Yeah, with the horns.
Yeah, he's dead. Billy's dead.
Spoilers.
He did have a girl. Oh, his girlfriend was really cool though.
His girlfriend's still around.
What are votes?
Did you vote?
Yes, I did. Bubbling.
I'm bubbling. Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
but
obvious,
to be fair,
right?
We kind of messed up because the better ship instead of the Mayflower would have been the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, because then there's three. That's
I was gonna suggest that. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they're together. They're definitely.
It's 2016.
Should I just put this down as 4-1 because I don't think Dan's voting for bubbling?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. This is an Adventure Time thing. That's super cool. I'm glad we're still doing that since season 2 of this show. But sure, yeah, no, it's cool. Some things never change, ride or die. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
All right, there it is.
Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen knock out the Mayflower 4-1. Up next is, now you're gonna have to explain this one to me, Korra Sami.
Korra the Avatar.
Okay. Versus Stucky, which is Steve Barnes and
Steve Barnes is correct because they are married.
Wait, sorry. Steve Rogers and Bucky Barnes from Captain America.
I know that you're doing a bit right now because before the show you were very adamant that Stucky go in.
No, I recognize Stucky. It threw me off at first. Korra Sami, that must have been when I was searching tweets about The Bachelorette and I was not listening to you.
Korra Sami is pretty much the easiest portmanteau because it's just Korra and Asami.
Yes.
Okay.
who are the best characters on a show called The Legend of Korra, which is filled with great characters, make no mistake.
Greg, I don't know if you say that, but there are Lin Beifong and Su Yin Beifong.
Oh, I'm aware. Don't get me wrong. Korra and Asami
just
are the best
reminding,
characters.
just reminding everyone.
They are girlfriends who are in love with each other.
No, the important thing about Korosami is that like it was a ship that popped up since season 1, if I remember correctly. I haven't actually seen it.
It was about like the very, very end of season 1.
Okay, but this was after.
Korra is the main character, and she's this buff, rad, like brash, headstrong character who is the Avatar, and she has these two friends, Bolin and Mako, who are brothers. She kind of has a real on-again, off-again relationship with this guy named Mako, who's a piece of shit. And Mako.
They tease some other stuff with her and Bolin, but like that doesn't work out immediately, right?
Her and Mako are on-again, off-again. Mako ends up dating this girl named Asami, who is like the head of a business and has a lot of really cool stuff going on. Eventually, very quickly, according to the fans, and after 4 seasons, according to the creators, Korra and Asami realize, hey, we're in love, and that is how the series ends. So
okay, so they end up together.
Yes, in the very last episode is when
it's the last shot of the last episode.
It's the last like 5 seconds.
Hold up a second, because we established a little rule.
No,
when we were
we
making
didn't.
But this is important.
We didn't.
But this is an exception and is important because it was one of those ships that people like.
It was the predominant ship throughout the series,
and it really felt like it. It really felt like it was never going to happen. It really felt like it was a thing. This is only a fan thing. Like this is not the direction that they would ever take the show.
But the
creator sounds about as likely as Bucky and Steve.
Sounds a little like you guys are stacking the deck.
What?
No, this was a big deal.
You got to understand, there's terminology that exists for when a ship like goes canonical. It says your ship has sailed. Like that's a thing that exists. That doesn't mean that it's no longer a ship.
Yeah. Okay, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Now, Steve and Bucky.
That's a linguist.
No, Steve and Bucky. No, that's a ship. That's the tried and true.
There is let me tell you, there is an angle of like romance to Stucky that I am way into. These two are the only ones left alive from their timeline. How would they not hook up?
Okay, so that's not true. They're the only two left from the timeline who are still looking like they're in their 20s.
Who are still
would understand?
TTF.
Who would understand them better than them?
They were best friends back when they were in their original time.
That is true. So
Steve Rogers throws away relationships for Bucky, right? Like he throws away best friends.
So here's the thing. I think Stucky's kind of an unhealthy relationship. I think it's a situation where Steve gives and doesn't get to take. Because he is constantly going to be defending Bucky to the point of sacrificing every other relationship in his life. I get it. It's romantic. I don't see.
Well, that and like Bucky's like not even around now. Like
right. I mean, Bucky. Yes, that's true. Now, again, we're talking only in the movies. Like in the comics, they don't even interact that much anymore. And in the comics, Steve Toney was much more of a thing for much longer. I got made fun of before the show for bringing this up, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. Instead, I'm just going to vote Korosami.
We would never do that to you, Greg.
Well, you did.
Korra is the Avatar, and you got to deal with it. And when I finished the Korra series, I stayed up until 5 a.m, just mainlining it straight into my nervous system. And it came on screen, and I got out of my bed, and I just screamed for about 5 straight minutes at how good those gays were and how happy I was about those gays. So clearly, my vote is for that good old ship, Korosami.
I did the same thing. I hadn't seen an episode of the series until 2 weeks before the finale, and I thought, all right. And then I marathoned every single episode leading up to it. I just spent the night bawling in joy and reading horrifying fan fiction. It's 2-0 in favor of Korosami.
Let me toss a vote over to the Stucky side of things.
Let me get all Stucky with you, Dan.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get Stucky yucky.
Jesse, it's down to you.
I mean, I get it. People want to see Steve with someone because he's got.
I would see his Steve with anybody. I would just on screen.
I am not particularly fond of the romance in the Marvel Cinematic Universe in any capacity. I don't really think a lot of it works. Steve and Bucky maybe, but like even then, like I said before, it's a sort of a Civil War spoiler. If you haven't seen it, Bucky's not really around anymore at the moment, and I don't think that would work either. And I'm not really a fan of like that sort of like one-sided kind of affection either. So I mean, I have to be a Korrasami vote. I haven't seen Legend of Korra. It's a bigger deal. It's a cooler thing that happened that completely caught me off guard, and it's the one thing of that show that keeps me thinking I really ought to go back and watch all of that.
Thank you, Jesse.
This is the one fucking time in the history of Bracket where Jesse has said, I haven't seen this, and also I'm voting for this in the same
That's not
sentence.
the one fucking time. I literally voted for Adventure Time to last the bracket.
Every time. Jesse's like, I haven't seen this, so I can't vote for it. All right. Korrasami knocks out Stucky 3-2. John and I will Stucky Yucky some other time.
You don't know.
Up next is the Black Pearl versus Scholarships.
What's the Black Pearl doing on here?
Yeah, it's
Black
a terrible
Pearl.
ship. I don't like it. I don't
It's
like
a great
Pirates of the
ship.
Caribbean.
It's a great ship. It's a great pirate
It's
ship.
a pretty good show.
I don't think those are good movies. I don't think that's a good ship. Scholarships, boy, did I need a lot of those because I'm poor and wanted to go to a nice high school and B, an okay college.
The Black Pearl was at one point run by ghosts. It got eaten by a kraken and then ended up at the end of the world and sailed back. It's had multiple owners. It's a fantastic ship.
There's some
all
cool
of that
ass stuff
sounds like
happening in
reasons
those
to
movies.
not buy it. I'm a scholarship vote.
I'm a Black Pearl vote because A, pirates, B, ghosts, C, scholarships are a lot of stress for something that inevitably will not help you a whole lot in the long run.
Yeah, the Black Pearl is the fastest ship on the ocean. You can outrun the East Indian Trading Company any day of the week on that sucker.
It's 1-1.
I'm a big user of scholarships. I have to ask, though, if anybody is deep into Pirates of the Caribbean lore, maybe the way you can get me on board with that ship is relating it to me through Kingdom Hearts.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Does it
do
make
you
an
go
appearance?
on? Does it?
does.
I think it does.
It does. In Kingdom Hearts 2, there is a Pirates of the Caribbean world in which you team up with Jack Sparrow, and yes, you do sail on the Black Pearl.
It's a little weird, right?
I believe there is a boss fight.
That's definitely a very weird
It's
place.
like a live action thing.
Yeah,
well,
it's
I mean,
hyper-realistic
it's based on a
character
ride.
models.
Yeah, it's based on a ride at Disney World. Like, let's not.
Yeah, but it has Johnny Depp in it.
Yeah.
Okay, look.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Greg, cut me some slack, man.
Orlando Bloom joined your party.
I've been working a lot lately. So oh boy.
Where are votes?
Black
I want to
Pearl.
apologize to Dan because I'm going to vote for scholarship because the education system is fucked.
In Eden, I believe it's
Yep.
down to you.
Ooh.
Okay, listen. One of these is rad as hell, and the other goes to basketball and football players. Like that's it.
And
Come on.
me.
And sure, until you get like one F, and then the school's like, "Oh, you're on probation."
Well, I'm
Yeah,
dumb
I
as
wish-
hell, so.
I wish universities would stop handing out life-size models of the Black Pearl to football and basketball players, because,
Yeah.
I mean, that takes a lot of wood. America's timber industry is failing. Black Pearl is cooler name, so I'm gonna vote Black Pearl.
Wow.
Yeah.
Both sound cool if you say it like a pirate, though. Scholarship.
Why do you? Why
Not
is
really.
the letter that you?
You think scholarships are called scholarships?
I
Yeah,
beg to
That's
differ.
pretty good. That was-
The scholarship.
Why aren't you doing scholarship? Like,
Because
The Black Pearl.
What's the next entry, Dan?
no, we're gonna do this for the next half hour.
The
Black
pirate
Pearl-
John. Yar.
Pirate John. Oh man, that's my favorite character right next to Cowboy John. The Black Pearl knocks out Scholarship 3-2. We're moving into the last group of round one. It is the Fellowship of the Ring versus Naruto Shippuden.
The
So
anime
let's
entry of
talk-
the week.
what does everybody know about Naruto Shippuden? 'Cause I
Naruto
don't know
Shippuden.
much.
Okay, Greg.
Yeah,
Greg.
Yeah.
You may be ready to dismiss Naruto Shippuden, but let me tell you, it's a time skip, and everybody loves a time skip.
That's true. I do love
They
a
take
time
Naruto, they age him up a few years, they
Yeah.
give him a change of clothes, and he looks way better in that new orange jumpsuit because it's got some
So-
dark colors on it.
So they Rugrats all grown up him.
That is
Sorta.
maybe the worst example you could stand.
Everything
says,
I've heard is that Shippuden is very, very good.
Naruto Shippuden is a continuation of the Naruto manga and continues the same storyline after the passing of 2.5 years in the Naruto universe.
Which is ages when you're a preteen.
That's true.
And Naruto Shippuden, probably worth pointing out, contains a ship within it of Naruto x Sasuke, right?
Well,
Like,
there's a ton of Naruto ships.
There's plenty of Naruto
Hinata
ships.
Naruto, Sakura Sasuke, Sakura Naruto, as well as like all of those other ninjas nobody knows.
All the canon
Except
ones.
Colin. Colin's gonna.
Colin knows them.
Oh well, this guy can make spiders out of his hand.
Whose guy gets shipped with? Kakashi,
This is a
right?
real good episode of Creature Culture.
Probably like Kakashi and Guy, right?
What?
They're like old Kakashi and Guy, right? They're like old buddies.
I thought that was Inuyasha. Who does Rock Lee end up with?
I think Rock Lee's too good for anybody.
That's
Yeah.
true. Rock Lee has a Wikipedia page. Good for him.
Both of these probably have a lot of subpar video games.
Yeah.
No, not true. Not
Now-
true. Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. There are some. Well, not the original one, but Two Towers, Return of the King. Those
Dan's
are
kind of right.
baller
Both of
games.
these kind of have some baller video games.
They
Not
have good
Naruto,
anime.
but
They
Naruto
made
kind of does.
they made a Lord of the Rings RPG at one point, and I almost got it.
They made an MMO that sucked.
Shadows of
I played it for a
Mordor.
trial.
That's like
Oh my god, yeah, that's what it was.
Years
Fellow
after the war, Lee marries an unknown woman and has a son named Metal Lee.
Same.
Oh my
I'm
God.
a Naruto Shippuden vote.
Same.
There we
same.
go. That's all you
Wait.
had to do.
Are you sure you didn't
Rock Lee
accidentally
and
read?
Metal Lee.
Is that not the plot to Sonic CD? Like
I don't care. I'm in.
The
That's
Fellowship
my vote.
of the Ring.
He named his kid Metal?
There's a lot of people on the Fellowship of the Ring,
There's Gimli. There's
There's 9
Legolas, there's
people.
Aragorn.
Gimli, son
And
of Gloin.
and you can ship all of them.
Who here can name
9?
all 9?
9 dwarves, 9 elves,
You got
9
you got Merry, you got Pippin, you got Sam, you got Frodo, you got Gandalf, you got Legolas, you got Gimli, you got Aragorn, and then the last one.
Sonic
Nope.
the Hedgehog.
Nobody tell me.
Sean Bean.
Yes, well, no, it's not Sean Bean, is it? It's yeah,
Sean
it is.
Bean.
He
Sean
gets
Bean's the one who
gets
dies. in
beheaded by
Fellowship.
an orc.
Is
I
it
don't know.
Boromir
George
or
R.R.
is it
Martin.
Elrond? Because I thought it was Elrond.
Oh, Ron Hubbard?
Yes. Hugo Weaving.
Neil
the
deGrasse
elf
Tyson.
Like
Tyson Chicken Nuggets.
guy. You know David Bowie was supposed to be Elrond? That would have been nuts.
Oh my god, what?
That's what I'm reading on Wikipedia. David Bowie expressed interest in the role, but Jackson stated to have a famous, beloved character and a famous star colliding is slightly uncomfortable. Like, people are super into Elrond.
well, wasn't
Wasn't Jack Black and King Kong? Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's
oh my
totally
god.
possible.
Okay, let's
Jackson.
get back. Let's
Where
get
are
back to what
votes?
matters. Naruto Shippuden's my vote because it's the best anime entry we've ever come up with.
It's a pretty good anime entry.
Well, Fellowship of the Ring is a really good entry in Best Ship. Like when they're like, "You have my sword," and then Gimmy's like, "And my rock hard cock." Like that's
Oh my god, Dan!
that's phenomenal.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
His cock is in his beard.
Oh god,
Yeah.
it's
Jesus.
wild.
all of this is
Fuck?
got gross.
Dwarves are.
It's a
Dwarf
dwarf
anatomy
thing.
is weird.
Are you a Fellowship of the Ring vote, Dan?
Yes.
Eden,
I
Jesse?
I'm an active disliker of the Lord of the Rings, so I'm gonna vote Naruto Shippuden.
But you're an active liker of Naruto, which is not a thing that exists.
no, they exist.
Oh, trust me, they exist.
Yeah, creature culture.
Okay, so I have no real affection for Naruto, but I have been known to like series similar to Naruto, so I have to vote Shippuden.
Is that it?
Ninjas are more interesting than fucking.
No, they're not.
Wizards or
Don't kid
whatever.
yourself. No, they're not.
You
not
voted
kidding
Shippuden,
myself.
Jesse?
I'm a Shippuden vote.
Ninjas have their own magic. It's called ninjutsu, and I learned all about it in Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime.
All right. Well, Naruto Shippuden, am I saying that right? It sounds like I'm holding a
Sure.
fast
Go to
forward
Shippuden.
button on myself.
Go.
Knocks out Fellowship of the Ring 4-1, and we're moving into round 2. In Group A, it's Sonic and my original character versus Finn and Poe. Man, that seems like forever ago. Titanic is going up against Battleship. We have Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen up against Korasami, and then we have Black Pearl and Naruto Shippuden. Up first is Sonic and my original character versus Finn and Poe. I feel like this is going to be a pretty easy one.
Is it?
You know what? Now that I think about it, I'm still really into Sonic.
I like Sonic.
And-
Why not Finn, Poe, Sonic?
Oh,
Well,
man.
to me, the appealing thing about the Sonic stuff is that, like, yes, you could take the, like, sort of, like, almost, like, cynical view of being like, oh, this is so weird and dumb and gross and stupid. But, like, on the other hand, it's like, this is kind of cool to see. Like, you're seeing, like, kids, like, be creative in a, like, new way when they do
Right.
that stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
When I draw
Sure.
my art of me surfing down the streets to City Escape with Sonic.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many of you guys have like Google searched your own name with the hedgehog at the end?
I have.
I have.
Every day.
I've seen Jesse the Hedgehog, and
For
he
some
looks kind
reason,
of
the
dope.
results of my OC never show up, which is upsetting.
I think John the Hedgehog is wearing a trench coat, if I remember.
Jesse the Hedgehog is wearing a trench coat. Actually, yeah.
What are the odds?
Yeah, he's very tall.
I have to vote first, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
God, this really
That's the
sucks.
ship.
I like both of these ships. John, you're right that like it's a new kind of expression of wanting to have sex with Sonic. But Finn Poe is just so cute. There's so much that's cute about it.
Like, okay, also, I'll say this. I think, like, Finn Poe is purely based on, like, oh, I want to see that happen. But I think the Sonic thing is like, oh, I want to be Sonic, and also I want to, like, be in love with Sonic.
Yeah, you know what? I
Mhm.
think you're right. I think I have to go Sonic original character based on what you just said.
I have to vote. I have to vote Finn Poe because it's going to make so many people angry.
It's real cute. It's 1-to-1.
City Escape was brought up, and I do have to introduce the concept or the image of Sonic singing to your OC an extremely slow and lovely rendition of City
Oh, man.
Escape.
Oh,
at
on
the
his
altar.
acoustic guitar.
At the altar.
Oh, wow. Follow me, dun, dun, set me
Where are
free.
votes?
Oh man, I would listen to that in the background and say yes to the dress. From the city,
Where are
dun-dun,
votes?
I'll make it through. Prove
Oh, this is all
it
getting cut.
to ding-a-ding-ding-a-ding. Follow me.
Did this just break out into Footloose?
I'm going to vote for Sonic the Hedgehog.
2-to-1.
The blue blur himself.
Yep, Kevin Bacon.
2-to-1.
I could be swayed either way.
I don't dislike Sonic/OC, but continuing on with my Cold Stone example, I do want to see Finn and Poe eat chili dogs.
That's a
True.
good point.
Pretty good.
Oh, Lady and the Tramp style.
Ooh, yeah! A Sonic foot-long coney.
But it's Star Wars, so the hot dog starts out like as just a powder, and
It's
then
Star
it, like,
Wars.
inflates into a hot dog.
It's Star Wars, so they go to Supersonic.
It's bantha meat, right? What is that your vote, Finn Poe?
I think so. I think you can lock me in.
It's down to whoever hasn't voted yet.
Dan, it's down to
Me.
Dan.
I'm not really keeping track anymore.
Sorry, I just got a little busy Googling a City Escape acoustic cover. And there are several.
Google just wouldn't serve you any results because it's the biggest search anybody has ever put in.
I am going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog vote, man.
Wow.
I can't. City Escape is what swayed me.
There it
You
is,
just- You
everybody.
just broke so many hearts.
Oh, Finn Poe's great. I suggested Finn Poe be on here, you ass.
Moving on.
Crush
Sonic
40
Hedgehog knocks
clinches it again.
Sonic the Hedgehog knocks out Finn and Poe 3-2. Next is Titanic versus Battleship. Greg, I know you have to vote first, but I'm going to throw mine towards Titanic.
I'm going Battleship because there's no fucking... The Titanic is born to sink, whereas a battleship literally sinks
Okay,
ships.
that's a little extreme to say it was born to sink.
If it weren't for that iceberg, everything would have been fine.
Guess
Sank and had a
what?
bunch
It
of
is
rich
for that
people on it.
iceberg. It's
It's
got to
actually
be a
for the lazy people upstairs that weren't
It was a
paid.
ship for rich people.
Battleships are literally designed. The number one thing. How do we make a ship that can't sink? Well, let's put Rihanna on it for one.
Well, Greg, I think Box Office Mojo would tell you otherwise.
I don't care.
Joke show.
It's 1-to-1.
I'll go with Titanic because battleships like guns. Guns are bad. I don't like no guns.
2-to-1.
I was hard standing for Zero Escape, but on a purely objective level, the Titanic does not have any guns on it, and thus the battleship could easily sink it.
Have you seen the arms on Cal?
Boy,
No.
not well received that one.
2-to-1.
Yeah, I'm voting for
I think-
Battleship.
I think
Two-
Zero
two,
Escape is
Jesse,
a
it's down to
terrible
you.
excuse. Zero Escape's a terrible excuse to vote for Titanic anyway. I'm a Battleship vote.
There
Wow.
it is.
Yeah, technically it was the Gigantic in Zero
Yeah.
Escape.
Yep.
The Titanic is sunk.
I can't believe all you people support the military-industrial complex.
I would love Just a recut of the Titanic, but instead of near far, with City Escape over all the romantic scenes. Battleship knocks out Titanic 3-2.
I'll make that for you, Dan.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate that. It's Princess Bubblegum and Marceline the Vampire Queen up against Korasami.
No.
This is.
Yep.
How did we let this
You
happen?
made your bed.
Kill your darlings.
Let's hear some discussion because I don't want to vote
Actually,
yet.
for to not
you know
hear
what?
discussion.
One of these happened.
I actually have my vote. Like, I know what it is.
Well, just say some words.
And it's both of these are great. Both of these are awesome. One of them is definitely cemented as like more as canon based because it happened. We got the on-screen verification. But that's all it was. It was
that's not true.
you could
They
count
had
the
stuff.
number of frames that Korasami existed in.
Yeah, but there's so
think
much
they were
stuff
building
leading
up
up
to
to
it all
that
through,
makes it
yeah.
an organic and sensible ship.
I think
every interaction between Korra and Asami feels so nice.
I think there is absolutely credence to the argument that like it kind of came out of nowhere. And yes, you could look into it. You can
totally
find
disagree.
you can find things that support it, but really, like, I would not be surprised if there's a lot of people who are like, oh wow, I didn't see that. Like, it's a little lacking, right? Like, there's not even like a kiss. Like, it's not.
I don't disagree with you.
And I think Bubblegum Marceline, if you actually like, especially some of the recent episodes that they've done, it is actually a very like adult and mature feeling relationship between those two. Whether or not there was actually any romance or not, which I think there was, but if there is some depth there that I do not think is represented in Korasami.
Well, I would say one of the things about Bubbling is that like I agree that it absolutely happened, but like by going by that, it's over. I mean, they're not together anymore, and there's definitely the chance that they'll get back together. But I mean, come on, right?
I have just dropped into the chat a GIF of Princess Bubblegum spilling a red slushy on her face and Marceline licking it off with her thumb.
You know what? I rejected that download. Skype was like, "You want this?" And I said, "No, thank you."
I'm a Korasami vote. I think that I think Marceline and Bubblegum are very cute together. I think Korasami are cuter together. I like their colors, like the clothes they wear. I like the sort of like that Korra's this brash, rough and tumble, rush into things, whereas Sami, I mean, that's the thing is that these are very similar ships. But Korasami feels better to me.
I totally disagree. I'm Bubblegum and Marceline.
It's 1-1.
You gotta watch Varmint. That episode is amazing.
I've seen Varmints.
Creeping around my patio.
I'm gonna vote Korasami because there's verification there,
2-1.
I've seen you get to see the payoff with the fans. Like fans seeing people excited about that was enough for me.
Plus, we're gonna get more of them in the comics, which are coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes, but there's still so much more of Adventure Time left. Like,
yeah, but you said that like, oh, that's all the Korasami we get. That's not.
For me, this is like when on Chopped and they're in the final round, and one of them presented just like the worst fucking dish in the world, like just the worst dessert, and the other one presented a really good dessert, but there were like 2 ingredients from the basket that got left off by mistake. It's really a lose-lose for me. I think I'm going to go with the technicality side of things in that, no, wait, actually, fuck Adventure Time. Korasami, let's go.
Oh, God.
Wow.
We shouldn't have let Dan be the
that
last
lock
one
it
to
in?
vote for this.
Who hasn't voted? Someone hasn't.
It'd be
I
Eden,
haven't
right?
voted.
Yeah, vote.
Oh.
It's locked in though.
Yeah, Dan already sealed it. It's 3.
Oh, yeah, that was what I asked.
Yeah, 3 votes for
That's
Korasami.
such a bummer. I have to make this evenly matched, so I will vote Bubblegum and Marceline. However, if it wouldn't have been, I would have voted for Korasami just on the technicality of better music in Korra. Jeremy
That's true.
Zuckerman, I see ya. I like your style.
I hear you. I'm
Korasami
interested.
moves on.
I'm not
All
going to
right.
open a YouTube link. Now I see the thumbnail. I'm not going to open it, Dan.
You gotta listen to this kid sing City Escape because
No. Later.
We're making a podcast, guys.
I can't imagine somebody having the like vocal range of Crush 41 being that young, but yet he does.
It's not Crush 41. It's Crush 40. Some 41 is the other band you're thinking of, Dan.
no.
What a
31
fucking
of
trash
Agents.
fire
Dan's
this has
talking about
become.
the infamous matchup band of Sum 41 and Crush 40.
When they come,
Crush 40 is the 40th
oh my
band to
God.
exist. Sum 41 is the 41st.
Korosami knocks out Bubblegum and Marceline 3-2. Up next is the Black Pearl versus Naruto Shippuden.
Do you remember when I said that? Do you remember when I said this might be our best episode?
I love Pirates and Ninjas. That's my favorite argument.
Ninjas are better than pirates. I'm a Naruto vote.
That's not true.
I would rather watch 6 episodes of Naruto than 1 Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Wow. That's a little
Uh,
rough.
Go ahead and lock me in, Naruto Shippuden. I like what y'all said about Rock and Best Rock episode, and I have to go with my gut here.
2
But the
nothing.
Black Pearl is the fastest ship on the ocean.
Yeah,
Nobody
but-
can catch it.
But Naruto has a man
It's
who
been
can make,
pilot-
sharks come out of water with his ninjutsu.
Naruto
Yes.
also sucks balls. Like, let's not split hairs here, okay?
Dan, I'm going to go ahead and put you down as a Black Pearl vote.
People like Pirates of the Caribbean.
2-1.
Like,
Yeah, nobody likes
I actually
Naruto.
like it.
That's never gotten big over here.
Dan, how fast could the Black Pearl sail to my heart?
Does the Black Pearl run with its arms out in the back?
Absolutely.
Does it do the Saiyan run? It's 2-1.
It absolutely does. Captain
Jesse,
Barbosa would
John?
piloting.
Dan, I will admit, it was very cool at the end of the second movie when Barbosa comes out.
Oh,
out
when
of
he
nowhere.
comes down and he's
Yeah,
like, "What's
comes down the
up?"
stairs and you're like, holy shit, Barbosa's back.
Oh man.
But I'm a Naruto vote.
is it 2-2?
It's 3-1.
Oh, it's a Naruto. I mean, sorry, Greg, you're wrong. Pirates are better. I'm a Black Pearl vote.
No, I checked. I'm right because Naruto just moved on.
Which I feel like is never happening again in the history of this show. Naruto Shippuden knocks out Black Pearl 3-2. We are moving into the semifinals. In Group A, it is Sonic and My Original Character versus Battleship, and in Group B, it is Korosami versus Naruto Shippuden. First up, Sonic. Sonic and My Original Character versus Battleship. This is easy, right? Like locking in for Sonic.
You know,
Yeah,
I
for
was
Sonic.
I was ready to say okay, it's fun that Sonic got this far, but up against Battleship, I just how's Battleship even here?
How did this
Battleship had a great third act, but those first 2 acts. There are other acts in the film.
You certainly
I'm voting
have to
Sonic.
get to him. There it is. That's 3 for Sonic.
Give it to Sonic.
Damn.
So
I'm
how
a
many is
Sonic
that?
Is it
I'm
a
a Son-
sweep? Can we just agree
a
it's a
sweep.
sweep? It's a sweep.
It's a sweep.
All right, the first sweep of the episode, Sonic, My Original Character, sweeps out Battleship. You sunk my battleship, everybody.
Oh, I didn't know that a secondary character from South Park was here.
I don't get it.
He sounded
Korosami
Ships
versus
sink?
Korosami versus Naruto Shippuden. All right, you got your 2 animes up against each other. Kill one.
Legend of Korra is not an anime. I'm a Korosami vote.
Let's not beat around the bush. Avatar is really heavily influenced by anime.
Well, yeah, but it's not an anime.
So what? It's a cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are
Holy
squares.
shit!
Legend of Korra
This-
is not an anime. Is the important.
This is
thing.
like that Chopped example from earlier, except if one of the entries in that Chopped finals was an Oreo churro.
Oh, I've seen
later
those in the
today.
freezer aisle. We saw those, and we were tempted to buy them.
Had one today, and gotta say, good.
I was split between those Choco Tacos and Reese's Klondikes. We went with Reese's Klondikes.
Hey guys, how you guys doing? I'm a Korosami vote.
Hey, can we talk about the Reese's ice cream sandwich for a second? Those things
Oh
are
my
fucking
No,
terrible.
we can't. We have votes to
Stop.
make.
They are really bad. I'm with you there.
Korosami.
That locks it up. It's a Korosami win.
I'm still bitter about Bubblegum Marceline being gone, so I'm gonna vote for Naruto Shippuden.
Dan.
Okay, anime president.
I mean, and honestly, I really love every time my grandma gets me one of those Friendlies cups that is just like the single serve and it has a little Friendly sundae in there. Those are really good. I'm gonna be a Korosami vote.
There it is. 4-1.
Sorry, Colin.
Korosami knocks out Naruto Shippuden 4-1. In the bronze match, we have Battleship versus Naruto Shippuden. Both of these, I think, are total toilet water worthy.
I think we know what the real winner is here.
Naruto
Battle.
Shippuden.
It's Naruto Shippuden.
No, don't you dare.
That's
Do
2
not
for Naruto.
I am gonna vote for Battleship just because I like
Battleship.
Rihanna.
Oh, yes.
I do not care for the Naruto art style in any capacity.
Yeah, but
I'm
Jesse,
looking-
we want to flush battleships, so go ahead and
Yeah,
vote for Naruto.
I mean, it is fitting. I'm a Naruto vote.
There it
Oh!
is. Thank you, Jesse. Dan, where's your vote?
I'm a
Dan,
battleship vote.
No, Dan, could you please vote for Naruto for reasons I'll explain in just about 30 seconds?
Here's the thing. That would be betraying my own personal religion. I have to have some convictions somewhere, and I'm definitely not voting for Naruto.
Motherfucker.
You flush my battleship.
I'll change my vote, Eden. I'll vote for.
It's too late. I locked it in.
No, it had to be 1-4. I guess
right.
me and Dan
okay.
are going down with the ship. Heyo!
Okay.
Here's the thing. It's
Name
not
of
that
my
we're
podcast.
silent. We're not silent to be mean. It's just that we don't have a laugh track yet, but we're working on it.
We
gotta
got
got an air horn.
Right?
No, let's not bring those into the show yet. Once Colin comes back. So, final round: Sonic and my original character versus Korasami.
I know that the reflexive choice here is Korasami.
That's not true.
But I do want to point out Sonic and my original character, just as formative for a lot of people, just as much of a payoff.
I'm voting Korasami. I think it's the best ship on this list.
See, I think Sonic the Hedgehog is the best ship on this list, and I mean that.
Sonic the Hedgehog's a character.
Sonic the Hedgehog and my original character. I mean that genuinely. I think it's the best entry on this entire bracket.
Tell us who your original character is, and tell us about their relationship with Sonic the Hedgehog.
So here's the thing. I didn't have...
Well, then I
original
guess you
character-
can't vote for it, can you, Daniel?
Okay, all right. Listen, when I'm not going to divulge my original usernames on those Sonic the Hedgehog fan forums because I don't need any of you fuckers using the Wayback Machine to find it. But I have spent thousands and thousands of posts talking with other Sonic the Hedgehog fans who were a little bit obsessed with Sonic and Shadow.
I have friends who have histories with Sonic OCs. It is weird. It's weird, right? Like how much like Sonic seems to like a bunch of like how many kids latched onto Sonic.
Well,
he's
I'll tell
very
you what did
attractive.
it is it's Sonic Adventure 2 and Sonic X, the show. Like that's
People like Sonic X.
they were children.
Kids like Sonic X.
Weird.
All right,
Where
Jesse,
are
you don't need to
votes?
be judgmental
It's
about
currently
it.
1-0.
I think
this
people
is
like
a
Sonic
tough-
X just because they repeat the name so much in the theme song.
Yes, they really want you to know what you're watching when you
You're
get into it.
simple creatures.
This is tough because
It
like
is tough.
I for one put hundreds of hours into Sonic Adventure 2. It was probably my most played GameCube game for some reason. But
Did
I never
you ship
I never
Sonic with anybody?
No, I never went through a Sonic OC phase. Which is I would readily admit it if I did, but I did not.
I think I had a lot of self-doubt, like I really like self-loathing. So when I tried to make one, I felt like, oh, this is stupid. Like
This
I
character's
like,
not good
that
enough.
was me.
for
I
Sonic.
like I like
Yeah, that was
everybody
me.
else's original characters.
I
Mine's
put lots of time into the Chow Garden instead.
Yes.
I mean, it's tough. I don't know if I'm ready to vote. Does anyone else know?
yeah, I'm a Sonic the Hedgehog in my original character vote.
It's 1-1.
I played a lot of Sonic Battle on the GBA as a kid,
Yeah.
and I did like Shadow the Hedgehog in that, and I guess Sonic is sort of related to Shadow the Hedgehog. He's kind of like the good guy version. But one of these...
because by the end of Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow turns out to be a pretty good guy, and he has an interesting dynamic through the rest
I mean,
of the
he
game.
dies.
You know, we still don't know if the current Shadow the Hedgehog is actually a clone of Shadow
True, we
the Hedgehog.
don't. We don't. They never answered whether. Yep, you're right, Dan.
We don't
Wait.
know if
Wait,
the
they never
current
answered
Shadow-
what happened to Shadow?
No, so Shadow. Oh, we can't get into this.
No,
Shadow-
let's get into it.
Eden, where's your vote?
Currently, may not be a robot clone of the original Shadow the Hedgehog.
I did play Shadow the Hedgehog on the GameCube and got in trouble with my parents because Sonic in the first level says a cuss word.
Yeah. Well, and
but-
if you die, sometimes Shadow will say "damn it," and it's like, oh my God, Shadow.
Yeah, but it's pretty rough when Sonic says, "Hey, wanna fuck?" in the first chapter of Shadow the Hedgehog. I can understand why your parents would be a little upset.
It's weird that you can see Sonic's dick on the box, right?
It is weird how Sonic just like recites. I don't know. I didn't really have a direction to go with this joke. Didn't find it. One of these affirms me as a person and makes me happy every time I think about it. Whenever I'm feeling down, I just conjure up that image in my head, and I'm like, yeah. And the other one is Korasami, but I'm still voting Korasami.
It's 2-1.
You're pretty good. Who else hasn't voted?
I haven't voted,
Okay.
and
I
I'm
want to hear Con's vote.
You know where your heart is, and it was Sonic.
It's 2-1.
One of these is like mostly for goofs, but I think actually has some like merit to it, especially when you're talking about it being a thing that like very young people are doing. Like
I have a lot of the time when I voted for Sonic has been genuine because I've seen people actually
I think there's something very important there about like creative and romantic empowerment in young people.
I kind of blew my load with that one, didn't I?
Woo!
Where are votes?
I wonder what's going to come up after the last results.
And Kurosami is important too. There's an aspect of Kurosami to me that I think is like not good enough. Like I feel like Kurosami could have been so much better. You know what I mean? Like
I relate to that.
But like I also like as frustrating as it is when things like this happen and they're clearly not good enough.
I want to say like I was ecstatic when Kurosami happened.
Oh no,
I
like
think
people
it's
were
awesome,
happy.
but, like it definitely strikes me as something that's lacking, and I don't know what to vote for.
But I don't know if it's necessarily the showrunner's fault. Like you have to keep in mind, like the people who are like financing these things to happen in fiction in the first place may not be like most of the time are not willing to go 100% of the way. Like they don't want the show to focus a whole season on like this clearly obvious romance between two female characters because they're afraid of like backlash from people who are a little less open-minded.
Yeah,
Excellent conversation, but I need votes.
I think I will give it to Kurosami.
No, come on, man.
Jesse, where's your vote?
Where are the votes now?
3 in favor of Kurosami.
Wow. Okay.
If you want to sway me,
John, it's not too late.
It's not too late for me to change.
John, like
Jesse, I need a vote.
Breach into fandom and fan fiction through Sonic the Hedgehog. Like that is the entryway.
I fully appreciate the creative growth that people can pull from creating an OC out of Sonic, and a lot of people have grown into like creatively, interesting people because they took that first step with like Sonic and their OC. But that didn't happen to me. So fuck I'm a Kurosami.
Jesse. The best ship on bracket could be Sonic the Hedgehog.
I already said my shit. I am at peace with where I voted. I'm Kurosami.
It's locked in.
For the record, I changed my vote.
Doesn't matter.
For the record, Jesse's never seen Legend of Korra.
But I support
Dan,
it,
would you like to read the final results?
I mean, it doesn't bring me joy, but I will definitely read it.
Thank you.
So, the final results of Best Ship. Kurosami takes first place, followed by Sonic and My Original Character. That was a 4-1 matchup. And then in third place is Battleship, and in fourth place is what happened with that one? I forgot.
Shippuden.
Third place was Naruto Shippuden. It doesn't say them on the final ones. It doesn't like...
Yes, it does. Up top it says Supreme Champion Kurosami, We're the Adversary, Sonic / Original Character.
No, I don't
next time, Naruto Shippuden.
I don't see that either.
Yeah, it doesn't... Oh, you have to refresh to update it, because then the bracket ends. Oh.
Here's my sound effect.
It is.
Love it.
Well, Eden, first off, you were an absolute joy to have on the show. And I understand you have another show.
Yes, me and Finn Hickey, also friend of Bracket, recently launched a podcast called Going Down with the Ship. Every Tuesday we have a new episode. We match up fictional characters and have discussions such as what Widowmaker and Tracer would order at Arby's. Mm-hmm. Our most recent episode, which I don't know when this is going up, but the one for Tuesday in June 7th, we talk a lot about a little anime man in a green jumpsuit getting his dick in some robots. So
it's me. I'm the man.
Yeah,
it was a weird episode of Sonic X.
Greg,
I haven't listened to it yet, but like he's a creep, right?
He is a creep. He's got kind of a snake tongue. Greg, you may want to listen to the episode before you associate yourself with this man.
Yeah,
Look,
he's. I wanted to like him at first. He's kind of a creep. It sucks.
I'll do whatever it
jokes.
takes to sleep with some robots.
He jokes. You can find us on Twitter at Going Downcast, and you can find me on Twitter at Fontiago, Fontiago.
Well, if you liked the show, you can find more episodes of Bracket in iTunes, Stitcher, the podcast client of your choice. Just search for Bracket. You can also find more episodes at bracketpodcast.com. You can go through the whole archive. You can follow us all on Twitter on there. Just go to the staff page. We also have old episodes of Rolling, which is our D&D podcast that's sort of on hiatus right now, but there's just a whole archive of stuff for you to listen to. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and Twitter, and probably, I don't know, fucking Snapchat at this point. It's just search for BracketCast.
I wonder if someone's stolen the Bracket Snapchat account. Like, I wonder if someone got it before us and is just squatting on it.
And we just don't, or if they have been active on it and we just didn't know about it. And like for months,
like it's a fan Snapchat who's like posting Bracket updates.
Or like some like bracket line, somebody who thinks they're hilarious.
Yeah, I think it's most likely a saboteur who's trying to like smudge our name.
Yeah,
who would besmirch our good name?
Anyway. Yeah, that's gonna do it for us this week.
There's a phone number.
There is a phone number. That's 323-576-5265. That's 323, maybe even 676-5265. 323. Sorry, is that 323-676-52? Hold on, I need to grab a pen. And
nobody has been calling it, so I don't think we need to keep doing that.
Jank.
Yes. 323-07-JANK.
Okay. Hey, how about we introduce a little bit of a new segment to the show?
What's that?
I like new segments. What is it, Dan?
What is
it? It's something I've been thinking of off the top of my head. It is called. God, I had a really good name for it.
I'm excited already.
Munch Squad.
Fuck you, Ethan.
It's called Griffin's.
It is called. It is called Best of the Rest or something like that. Let's see. What were 2 entries that we didn't make into the final 16? I liked Airship and then the Millennium Falcon. If you had to choose one, Airship or Millennium Falcon, what's a better ship?
Airship. I wanted Mulder and Scully on here.
That's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, Mulder and Scully versus.
I think we're way overdue for a Tournament of Champions. I think I miscounted and we're like 4 entries over for Tournament of Champions.
Wait, really?
That can't be true.
Maybe.
That's not true. By my math, we are 1. We have this one and then 1 more in the Tournament of Champions because Dirty Toilet Water is not in tournament, right?
I think it is. Well, no, but
the redemption match is not part of the.
No, but the something counts for that week anyway.
Oh, right, the Simpsons one. So then next week is Tournament of Champions.
Maybe. Yeah. Let's go ahead and say next week is Tournament of Champions. Bye, everybody.
Next week, everybody, we are doing the Season 7 Tournament of Champions. We are taking the 16 winners of the past episodes and facing them all off each other in one final bracket for the season. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll post some info about that. We might do it live. We might not. We're going to figure it out. And you can find more information about that on Twitter. It's twitter.com/bracketcast.
I don't think that's right. I don't think it's next week.
It's Greg, next week, everybody. Bye.
The first episode.
Doing a professional radio show on the internet.